ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपगदामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशां नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Hare Krishna, welcome to our Bhakti Book class, Canto 5, Chapter 7. Chapter 17, 18, 19. Three chapters talks about the prayers offered by the residents of Jambudvipa. So the first personality who will be offering prayers is Lord Shiva, who is residing in Lavatavarsa. And starting with him, the remaining all will offer prayers. 18th chapter we have full prayers. In the 19th chapter also we hear prayers of by Hanumanji, Sugriva and other, and also Naranarayanuji. So like that. It starts here, goes like this, like this, like this, like this. It comes like this. So very nice prayers, very philosophical. So we will try to discuss. It is said, in the tract of land known as Ilavurtavarsha. So once again, we'll just start one verse before this. Yeah. To show mercy to his devotees in each of these 9 tracts of land, the great Lord, known as Narayana, remains near his devotees in his various forms. All these Varshas of Jambudvipa are occupied by a different variety of devotees. So their respective worshipable deities are always situated next to them. They are there with them to accept their wonderful service. To show his mercy means to continue showing his mercy. For that purpose, he remains present in various forms, in various varshas with his various devotees. So, Lords, it should be understood that these present deities of the various varshas are deity forms of the Lord. This is described in Prahlada's prayer in 5:18:8. So, in all these places, the devotees are worshipping the deity of the Lord, not exactly the personal form of the Lord, but the devotees are so great that Lord also can reciprocate with them accordingly. So that is the specialty of these places. So now let us start with Ilavurtavarsha. So what is the specialty of Ilavurtavarsha? In the tract of land known as Ilavurtavarsha, the only male person is Lord Shiva. No other male person exists there. One who knows about Durga's curse does not enter there. If any foolish man dares to do so, he turns into a woman. I shall explain this later. So this story comes in the 9th canto. So 9th canto gives the reason why Lord Shiva put a curse or that kind of condition that any male person enters into Ilavurtavarsha, especially in one area, not the entire Ilavurtavarsha, the area where the 2 mountains are there. So I don't know whether we have that image here or not in this. So within Lavatavarshi, here 2 mountains are there, Kailash, Karavira. In this 2 mountain area only that condition applicable. Remaining area, male people can be there. But where Lord Shiva personally stays in that Kailash mountain, so this condition is there. There, if at all knowingly or unknowingly any male person enters, they immediately become female. So that is explained in the 9th canto, 9:1, 23 to 33. The curse of Durga is explained in the 9th canto. Once, some sages of fixed vows and whose own effulgence dissipated the darkness of all directions, once came to see Lord Shiva in that Sukumara forest and directly entered the inner chambers of Goddess Ambika and Lord Shiva. So these great sages, they just out of eagerness to have darshan of the Lord, they directly entered into the inner chambers of Lord Shiva and Goddess Ambika. When the Goddess Ambika saw the great saintly persons, she was ashamed because at that time she was naked. She immediately got up from the lap of her husband and put on her cloth. Seeing Lord Shiva and Parvati engaged in intimacy, all the sages refrained from approaching and departed for the hermitage of Naranarayana. Thereupon, just to please his wife, Lord Shiva said, "Any male entering this place shall immediately become a female." Since that time, no male had entered that forest. But King Sudyumna unknowingly entered that forest and transformed into a female. So this was the story mentioned in the 9th canto. And what happened to Sudyumna afterwards and all, the further details are mentioned there. So this was the condition that section of the Ilavrta Varsha, where this Kailasha, Karavira mountains are there. Not everywhere. The rest all Ilavrta Varsha, the male people can move around without any objection, freely and happily. But if anyone enters into these two mountain areas, they immediately become female because of the condition that Lord Shiva put, so that that Bhavani will not become disturbed. So, like that. So then, in Ilavrta Varsha, Lord Shiva is always encircled by 10 billion maid servants of Goddess Durga. So, Goddess Durga is served by 10 billion maid servants. So, they are all Yaksha ladies. Uttering the following mantra in meditation, Lord Shiva worships Lord Sankarsana, his own source, the spiritual form in charge of ignorance among the 4 forms of the Supreme Lord. So, like that. So, there, Lord Shiva, being assisted by Durga, who was assisted by 1 billion female maid servants, continuously engaged in the service of Lord Sankarsana, who is his own source, who is his worshipable deity also. Surrounded by the servants of Durga, served by them, he worships the form of the in charge of ignorance. This is the form in charge of destruction. This form is actually beyond the 3 gunas, being purely spiritual. So, in the 3rd canto, if you remember, the creation pastimes are explained. When Mahavishnu wanted to create, the Pradhana or Prakriti comes out of his skin pores. Then Mahavishnu glances upon Prakriti. That glance carries Kala, Karma, Subhava. So when Mahavishnu glances, before the glance could reach Pradhana, the Kala Shakti in between transforms into Sadashiva. So the Kala which is produced from Mahavishnu eventually transformed into Sadashiva. And that Sadashiva expands and enters into each and every universe in the form of 11 Rudras. So here we have one of the 11 Rudras. His source is Sadashiva. Sadashiva's source is Kala. Kala's source is Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu is the expansion of Sankarsana, of the 2nd quadruple. So that was the understanding. This will be confirmed later in this chapter with Naisya Maya and Tribir Vihinam. And later on, subsequent prayers will indicate that Lord Sankarsana is, though he is in charge of mode of ignorance, the destructive activity, but he is not contaminated by 3 modes. He is situated beyond the 3 modes, being transcendental. That is, will be explained later. So then, Atmana Prakriti means the cause of himself. Since Lord Sankarsana is the Amshi and Lord Shiva is Amsha. Lord Sankarsana is Amshi, source, and Lord Shiva is Amsha. Atma Samadhi Rupena means by a form of meditation on the self. So that was the way he engages in worshipping the Supreme Lord while chanting the upcoming prayers. In this section, at the beginning of every prayers, there is a Mula mantra of that particular deity. That Mula mantra we can use whenever we go to that respective deity, we can chant that Mula mantra. This is very nice and very, very Vedic mantra. Now Lord Shiva says that Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Here Lord Shiva is called as Sri Bhagavan because he is also is non-different from Bhagavan in that sense. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Sarvaguna Sankhya Nayana Sarvaguna Sankhya Nayanantya Nanta Yavyaktaya Namayiti. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Sarvaguna Sankhya Sankhyayanayantaya Vyaktamu Namayiti. So like that. Lord Shiva says, I offer respects to Bhagavan, the great Purusha, the revelation of all qualities, the unlimited and the unfathomable. So this is the prayer. This is the Mula mantra of Lord Sankarsana. I offer respects to Bhagavan, the great Purusha, Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya, the revelation of all qualities, Sarvaguna Sankhyayanaya, Sankhyanaya, the unlimited, Anantaya, and the unfathomable, Avyaktaya. So that is the nature of the Supreme Lord. I offer respects to the revelation of all qualities. Avyaktaya means to the unfathomable. So this is the Mula mantra. It's like this. In all the subsequent prayer, there is a Mula mantra. And next verse onwards, is actual prayers begin. He says that Bhaje Bhajenya Ranapada Pankajam Bhagasya Krishnasya Paramparayanam Bhakte Shalamba Bhuta Bhavanam Bhavapaham Tva Bhava Bhavamishwaram. Can you please read the translation?
I worship wholeheartedly the Lord with lotus feet, the highest shelter of all the six qualities, the ornament of the devotees, the object of meditation for Brahma, the destroyer of material life, who has prema for me, your servant.
So from here on, he continues to offer his wonderful prayers. I worship wholeheartedly, Manasa Vacha Karmana, whom? Ishvara, unto his lotus feet, who is the highest shelter of all six qualities. Bhagasya Krishnasya Paramparayanam. Krishnasya means completely. So is the complete shelter of all the wonderful opulences. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Aishwasriya, Jnana Vairagyauschaiva, Sannambaga, Itingana. So in that way. So the ornament of the devotees. The six qualities are the ornament of devotees. And the Lord is the object of meditation for Brahma. Even the Lord who possesses the six qualities is also the ornament of devotees, the object of meditation of Brahma, the destroyer of material objects, destroyer of the material life, who has prema for me, your servant, who also loves me, who also has intense affection for me. Like that, Lord Shiva is acknowledging Lord's love for him. Bhaje Bhaje Ni A Arnapada Pankajam means I worship wholeheartedly he who has lotus feet. Out of joy, he repeats the verb. Bhagasya means possessing the six opulences. He repeats Bhaje Bhaje because out of love, out of affection, he tells the same thing two times. So in that way. Bhakteshu Alam means who remains like an ornament for the devotees. Bhavita Bhuta Bhavanam means he upon whom Brahma meditates, or he by whom Brahma is created. So Bhavita Bhavan, Bhuta Bhavanam. I worship you, who have frame for me. So like that, he starts saying that, let me offer obeisance unto you, who possesses all the six qualities and who destroy the material existence, who is the object of meditation of Lord Brahma, and who has love for me, who is your servant. So something like that he says. It is said that Acharya say that when Brahma made a mistake of Brahma Yoman Lila, Lord Vishnu chastised him and told that and don't make a mistake like that. When Lord Shiva blessed Bhasmasura, so that thing went to the extent that Bhasmasura came to kill Lord Shiva. But Lord Vishnu came and protected him, but still he did not say anything, even a single word also. So that Acharya say that, I mean, Bruhat Bhagavatamrita, it says that when Narada Muni, when that Narada Muni goes to Brahma after passing different personalities, he said that, see, I am not a great devotee. Greater than me is Lord Shiva. Because when I made a mistake, Lord chastised me. But even when Lord Shiva made mistake, Lord did not say even a word, single word. Instead, he protected him. So, so it is like that. So Lord likes Lord Shiva. Of course, in one sense, is same. Hare Krishna, you are there able to follow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Nayasya maya gunachitta vrittibir nirekshato yanvapi drishtirajyate ईशेयतानो जितमन्युरंहसां कस्तं न मन्येत जिगीषुरात्मनः. Please read the translation.
What person desiring to conquer the senses will not worship the Lord, whose vision is not affected by the actions of the mind, influenced by the gunas of Maya, when he glances in order to regulate matter, though we, having the force of uncontrolled anger, are affected by when we glance at matter.
Who, with an intention to control the senses, do not worship the Lord, because Lord's vision is not with fault. It is pure vision. It is not contaminated by the three gunas. When he glances, in order to regulate the matter, the matter produces unlimited universes. So, Mayadekshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. So, when Lord glances at Maya Devi, we are put into action. We start performing various activities. We are subservient of Maya, but Lord is the master of Maya. So, that is the indication of this verse. This verse describes the Lord's inconceivable power. Though the Lord glances for controlling, his glance is not affected by the actions of the gunas, by the forms and qualities of Maya, by the actions of the senses, and by the sense objects. So Lord's glance is so pure, it is with the complete affection and complete control. It is not affected by anything in that way. Ishe comes from the Eth, meaning to control. Ishvara means the ultimate controller. It comes from the Ishe or Isha or Eth. As an abstract noun, it takes from is. So many years back, in the initial years of my Brahmacharya training, I was going in trains to distribute Bhagavad Gita. So one Christian fellow caught me. He started saying that Krishna is not the Lord. Isha is the Lord. Because Bhagavad Gita uses the word Isha 27 times. So he was telling, Isha means Jehovah, Yesu Christ. So, I mean, different people have different way of perceiving things. But according to our Isha is Ishvara. Ishvara is the controller of Maya. So that is the understanding.
How did they actually understand that Isha is Jehovah?
No, Isha, they call him Isha, na?
But where did that word come from, Prabhu? The
अभी
word Isha is
see,
a word. It is not
उनके
an
लिए मीनिंग से कुछ लेना देना नहीं, उनके लिए जस्ट ऐसा सिमिलरिटी होना चाहिए बस. ईशा जो बुक में ईशा, because the problem is that our Indians also don't know what do you mean by Isha and what do you mean by Ishvara, and they say that hey, your Bhagavad Gita also talks about our Isha. So people, I mean, you and me have studied Bhagavad Gita, so we say what are you saying? But people in general, what they'll say? Okay, ऐसा है क्या? Bhagavad Gita also says about Jesus Christ. Mahabharata also says, Ramayana also says, okay, no problem. So like that. And they say that that Lord who is spoken about in Bhagavad Gita is actually not Krishna, not this, not that. It is actually Isha. So like that you are saying. So they have their own way of understanding things. We are affected by the impulse of uncontrolled anger. Our glance is affected. You are not like that. Who desiring to control the senses would not worship the Lord. This is an opposite example. So Lord's glance is so compassionate and complete control. Our glance is selfish oriented and our glance is not at all under our control. So like that it is indicated. Then he continues. Asadrusho ya pratibhati mayaya क्षिभेव मध्वासवताम्रलोचना ननागवद्वोर्हन ईशिरे ह्रिया यत्पादयो स्पर्शनदर्शितेन्द्रिया. Please read the translation.
For persons with impure vision, the Supreme Lord appears like an intoxicated person by the influence of Maya. But he is not such a red-eyed drunk. The wives of Kaliya were unable to worship the Lord because of shyness, since their senses were agitated by the touch of his feet. कैसे करोगे?
For those with impure vision, the Supreme Lord appears like an intoxicated person because they are influenced by Maya. But Lord's Yoga Nidra is not such kind of intoxication. So the wives of Kaliya were unable to worship the Lord because of shyness, since their senses were agitated by the touch of his feet. This was mentioned in the 25th chapter, if you remember. Lord Sankarsana, who was holding the entire Bhumandala below, when there was no Jiva who is qualified to do service, it is Lord Vishnu himself expands as Ananta and does that service. So all the Nagaloka residents, all the Nagakanyas, they come and worship the Lord. So while worshipping, they want to apply ointment. In order to apply ointment, they touch the bodily limbs of the Lord. Just by the touch, they are agitated and they become shy. They will not be able to look at the Lord properly. From the sideline, when they are looking at the Lord. So it's like that. So the Lord who can agitate the minds of the Nagakanyas, how can you say that he is in dizziness? So like that, it is said. So Lord's appearance may appear to be like that, because in Yoga Nidra, he appeared to be dizzy or something like that, but it is not. He is in transcendental mystic slumber. So that is the understanding.
Raji?
Ah.
Here it is said the wives of Kaliya were unable to worship the Lord because of shyness, since their senses were agitated by the touch of his feet. When was it actually happened? Yeah, like how did the wives of Kalia got the fortune of touching the lotus feet?
See, we only know about the wives of Kaliya pastime here. Lord Krishna lifting the Govardhan. It is there also. And Kaliya also can reside in Patala Loka or Mahatala Loka along with his wives. So from there, when the Nagakanyas go below the Bhumandala and there they worship Lord Sankarsana. So there also they might experience it. So it is like that.
Mhm.
So both the possibilities we can take. Because here Sukadeva Goswami is speaking in the present tense. Things as if they are happening now. So if Kaliya's wife spoken means that past time happened long back, na? When Lord Krishna was just 7 years old, that time he lifted Govardhan Hill and he also danced on the hoods of Kaliya. During that time only everything happened. And now Sukadeva Goswami while he is speaking, it is already much time past. Lord Krishna departed and Pandavas departed. Parikshit Maharaj ruled and he is about to die. So in that way. Even Kaliya wives worshipping Lord Krishna in that Yamuna is also can be taken like that. Or otherwise, before this pastime happened in the past, when Kaliya was also kind of visiting Patala Loka, that time his wives with other snake ladies, they all went down below Bhumandala and worship Lord Sankarsana. So in that way also we can take it. Because there also same thing is mentioned. I just connected both, thinking like that. Will not the vision of an intoxicated person be affected? The Lord appears like an intoxicated person to the foolish people. Such a drunk, such a drunk with red eyes loses his discrimination by drinking liquor. But you are not actually like that. The drunken people of this world have red eyes, but Lord's red eyes are not like that. That is because of Yoga Nidra. You maintain your discrimination and are eternally full of bliss. The wives of Kaliya, who are bewildered by the Lord's beauty, are described. They could not worship his feet. Agitated by the touch of the Lord's feet, they became shy. Since he is omniscient, he knows about our agitated hearts. Thus they thought, how can we serve him? So like that. So when this pastime exactly happened, we don't have any hint. But either way, whether the wives of the Kaliya, before their marriage or after their marriage, after punishing Kaliya last time, whichever, sometime it happened. So like that. यमाहुरस्त्यातिथिजन्म संयमम् त्रिभिर्विहीनं यमनन्तं ऋषया न वेदसिद्धार्थमिव क्वचित्स्थितं भूमण्डलं मूर्ध्नसहस्रधांशु. Please read the
The sages
translation.
say that the sages say that he is the cause of maintenance, creation and destruction of the universe, that he is without material gunas, and that he is unlimited. He does not even feel the universe situated on his thousands of hoods, since it is like a mustard seed.
Yeah, this is again in connection to 25th chapter. Because Lord Sankarsana holding the entire Bhumandala upon one of his 1,000 hoods, and he does not even feel the weight of that entire Bhumandala. He feels it look to be like a white mustard seed, small white mustard seed. This verse describes the Lord as the cause of the universe. He is the cause of maintenance, creation, and destruction, and he is devoid of the three gunas. He is called unlimited because of his knowledge of the tattvas. Because Lord Sankarsana is always glorifying the Supreme Lord. When Brahma gave him that service of carrying the Bhumandala, he asked how long I should carry this. He said, you carry it and glorify the Lord's wonderful pastimes and activities till the time they come to an end. When they come to an end, you stop. So if at all one need to glorify means one should know. So he knows everything. That's why it's called Ananta. He does not know the Bhumandala is situated on his hood because he was completely immersed in glorifying the Lord. Even though Bhumandala was put on his top, he does not know it. R means the mother of the Devatas. Rishya means the sages and the mothers of the Devatas. Some technical meaning of the Rishya. He does not know the Bhumandala, which is situated on one of his 1,000 hoods, since he is situated below the Bhumandala, measuring 493.2 million yojanas. His hoods are not wide enough to hold it. However, persons situated there can see that his inconceivable energy, can see that by his inconceivable energy, his hoods become unlimited in dimension, and thus Bhumandala appears like a mustard seed. That is actual, not an illusion. This is an example of his astonishing unlimited nature just mentioned. So it's like that. How do we understand that Lord is Ananta? How do we understand that Lord is holding the entire Bhumandala, which is very wide? It means being situated below while glorifying the Lord, he expands to the extent that the bigger Bhumandala becomes like a white mustard seed. If somebody may question, अरे Bhumandala itself is as big as the universe. ये वो कैसे उसके बड़ा कैसे हो सकता है? That is inconceivable. If you have any doubt, go there and see. Don't ask questions just like that. So like that, Acharyas are saying. So it is like this. Then Shiva says, यस्याद्य आसेद् गुणविग्रहो महान् विज्ञानधिष्णो भगवान् अजाकिला यस्सम्भवोऽहं त्रिवृतस्वतेजसा वैकारिकं तामसमैन्द्रियं सृजे एते वयं यस्य वशे महात्मना सहिता सकुन्ता इव सूत्रयन्त्रिता महानहं वै कृततामसेन्द्रिया सृजाम सर्वे यदनुग्रहादिदम्. Here Lord Shiva says, first there was the form of Maya called Mahatattva. So first there was Maya. By glancing upon Maya, Lord produced Mahatattva. Then there was Lord Brahma, who is the shelter of Sattva-guna. From Brahma I appear. So first there was the form of Maya called Pradhana, but from Pradhana comes Mahatattva. And then from Mahatattva comes Lord Brahma with the shelter of Sattva-guna. And from Mahatattva there appears Ahankara. And from Ahankara, while Ahankara appears, Lord Shiva also appears. So it's like this. When from Mahavishnu skin pores, when Pradhana appears, along with Pradhana, Durga Devi also appears. So when Mahavishnu glances upon Durga Pradhana, that glance carries Kala. Along with Kala, Mahakala Purusha, Sadashiva also appears. So from from Pradhana, the first element appears is Mahatattva. When Mahatattva appears, along with Mahatattva, Lord Brahma appears. So later on, the second element, when Sutra Tattva appears, along with Sutra Tattva, Vayu also appears. And then when Ahankara appears, along with Ahankara, Lord Shiva also appears. Like that. When the elements are appearing, their respective deities are also appearing one after the other. That is what is indicated here. By the Lord's power and the power of the gunas, I create the devatas. From Ahankara, in the mode of goodness, the devatas are created, the mind is created. From mode of passion, the senses are created. From mode of ignorance, the elements are created. Here Lord Shiva says that I created the devatas in goodness, the elements and the senses in the ignorance and passion. All of us, Mahatattva, the devatas, the elements, senses are like birds tied by a thread under his control. By his mercy, we create this universe. In few seconds, it is going to be disconnected. Request you to rejoin. So this is the thing. So when the elements are, whatever elements are doing, Lord Shiva is saying that we do that. Because being the leaders of the elements, it is their responsibility to do the needful as it is indicated. So like that, Lord Shiva says that from Mahatattva Brahma appears, from Sutattva Vayu appears, from Ahankara I appear, and from me Devatas appears.